Brooks here on your home for Real Country. What's she doing now at 8:17 time-wise? I am Rick Godley. We just lit up the streaming side of the studios here on the Q, and I want to introduce you to two special people, not only here in the studios, but with their message you are looking at and you will hear. Kimber Hanchey-Ogden, who has written a book called Push Through It, the Seth Hanchey story, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain. Also in the studio is Seth Hanchey. So Seth and Kimber, good morning. How are you two?
Good morning,
Good,
Rick.
good.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited to
Oh, you're most
share.
welcome. You're most welcome. You know that anytime, any place. So let's start, I guess, at the beginning. Well, first of all, Kimber, you called me yesterday. Why did you call me?
I called you because this is 11 years plus in the making. It is the Seth Hanchey story. Many people who follow Seth know us. He's got a really large TikTok following. Hey, TikTok, we love you guys. They are actually live streaming and they're watching us today too.
All right.
But 2 years ago we started a TikTok and we've got like 665,000 followers and 4.7 million likes. And it's a really cool platform. And Seth, of course, is very entertaining, to say the least. But many of you who know, and this is the book, it is live on Amazon 2 weeks now, and we also have the ebook available. But I contacted Rick, and he is so gracious. He is awesome, you guys. He has been very helpful in our journey, and even when we were working with Special Olympics, he was helpful in that journey as well. And it was he's just always been a constant of helping us put the good news out there, and he's always like promoting good vibes, good stories, positive uplifting stories. And Seth's story is definitely uplifting. But the book has got several pictures in it, and many of you who know kind of the background is Seth had graduated at 15. He was in college to be a nurse at 17, full-time youth pastor, and he was training for a triathlon. He was into rock climbing and, parkour and all that stuff. And he was actually training that day on a 60-mile ride after college. And he was struck from behind by an 81-year-old woman in a van, threw him over 160 feet. He landed on the highway at a second bridge. He was on the other bridge on the other side and threw him backwards 160 plus feet. He landed against that guardrail, died at the scene twice. They airlifted him to the Shreveport Trauma Center, which we talk a lot about that journey more in depth in here. A lot of the behind the scenes things that, a lot of people don't really know. We talk a lot about the surface story, but Seth woke up from the coma. 10 days later, they said he'd be perpetually vegetative. He's missing a fourth of his brain. A brain does not heal like a broken bone. It dies once it's concussion, strokes, anything like that. It literally withers away and dies. So it destroyed his language center. Here's a kid that walked around with a Merriam dictionary from the age of 8 in his back pocket, graduating at 15, and now he is at the place that he can't even speak. They said he would require 24/7 care. And we came home 5 months later, and he was in a wheelchair and diapers, and he had to relearn everything. He could only say ya, ma, na. 1 year later, on his 19th birthday, he actually ran a 5K. Yay. Proved them all wrong big time on that one. But he ran a 5K for the Team Seth Foundation, which is for brain injury awareness. And that story just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better, and he's doing amazing, and I couldn't be more proud to be his mama.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah, Seth, why don't you tell us what motivated you to go through what you went through to the point where just 1 year later, after receiving this horrific accident and all of the dismal news, that you ran a 5K, and it didn't just stop there. You won a medal in the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Am I right? What motivates you?
Up. Oh, God. So Yes, when my sons caught us done, more up, on God. So anything God, yeah, Thompson.
You know, you're becoming world famous for your hugs and prayers. Am I right? And
Yeah.
who have you hugged and prayed for? Then they walked away. Besides Rick Godley, and said, "Boy, that was powerful." Anybody come to mind, Kimber or Seth? That because he's traveled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, Rick, we've met so many people. Seth is not
Yeah.
a stranger to anybody.
Right.
He has apraxia and aphasia, which is why a lot of our followers, it's not just the brain injury, it's the side part of the apraxia and aphasia. And that's where, like with broca aphasia, it's where you know what you want to say. Your intelligence is not affected. But what happens is you know the word, but it's like all of these wires to get that word out, that motor skill movement, they're all like jumbled up like a computer just plugged in all over the wrong place, as if I hooked it up. But that is, it causes the word to come out. Either it can't come out at all, he can't formulate the sounds, or he cannot get it precise. And then the other part is like the apraxia. And the apraxia is where you can't execute. It's like a complete disconnect. So it's all dealing with communication. And I think people have followed him and got inspired by him because many people that, especially our military, Rick, and you know we work really closely with military, because the thing about brain injury is it's a misunderstood thing because it's invisible. It's not like walking around and you got a limp because you are paralyzed or in a wheelchair. It's not obvious to the first time person that meets him. But they quickly find out, you know, if Seth can go out and he's brave enough to at least try, because he has his own language. And it's really funny because we've got people that try to figure out languages and they're trying to decipher the code. Let us know if y'all figure that out. But he's got his own language, and I encouraged him years ago, dude, people will think you're foreign. Speak like you speak.
That's right.
And then he developed methods to ordering food, and it's crazy, but he'll be like, we've got some videos that it's like almost 9 million views of him ordering food in a restaurant. But people, like, we take that for granted, that we can just pick up the phone, tell what we need, what we want. They can't do that as easily.
You know, you're bringing up something, and I want to touch on it. We're talking with Kimber Hanchey-Ogden, Seth Hanchey's story. The book is available on Amazon download. You can get it on Kindle. Order it there. Push through it. The Seth Hanchey story, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain. You being a preacher, and from what I think we understand, that man is a body, soul, and spirit. There may be another component to that, because obviously the spirit's cooking real good in Seth, and has been. It's very strong. But the brain thing, that's functioning, but it's not functioning in the way we're functioning right now.
Yes.
But it's fully alive.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to say there's another component that may be at work here that you're discovering, he's discovering, that's helping others. And the beautiful thing about this TikTok and social media and terrestrial media is there are other people going through a long night, a dark night of the soul, to go through this journey, that they feel so alone right now. And you're not one to give false hope, so give some real hope to what people are, you know, they're sitting at home alone right now. They just got some devastating news. Encourage them.
Yeah, I will say, you know, and again, I talk about that in the book. A lot of things that we did, my faith, our faith, has been the foundation that's pulled us through. Now, I'm not going to say hypocritically, hey, we wasn't afraid. Our fear we didn't have fear.
I'm sure you threw some objects across the room. I'm sure some language came out of your...
I shook my fist,
sure enough.
And screamed, and, you know, I'm not a cursor, but boy, I learned some good cuss words back in those days. But, and pound the ground, you know, screaming, because there's times that you do all of the right things. You know, we were talking about this earlier, and we have our day planned out. We have our life planned out. You know, they say, oh, see yourself 5 years from now, see yourself 10 years from now. But depression kicks in when you're going through something that is the darkest of nights, the darkest of valleys. Psalms 23 talks about that, the valley of the shadow of death. And it's where you walk through something that is so devastatingly dark and painful that every time we go through pain, we feel alone. Because it's natural. Like you stub your toe, Rick, you know, all of our focus and attention goes to that pain. Well, when you hurt at your soul's core, and there's trauma that happens, whether it's betrayal from an ex or a divorce or molestation or rape or brain injury, and you're doing the right things and you didn't bring it on yourself, you can get so stuck at, one of the chapters is called Why God Why, and it's actually one of my many favorites, but that little short chapter is so profound because a lot of people think, oh, how taboo. You question God? Yeah, so did Christ from the cross.
Hello,
He said, why did you leave me? Well, when you're in your darkest hour, you feel abandoned. You feel alone. You feel like there's nobody that can rescue you. And that's when you cry out to God. And sometimes, and here's where we get stuck.
That's right.
Sometimes we go, He didn't fix it. He didn't fix it like we gave the orders or what we thought fixed, quote unquote, fixed looks like. And a lot of people give up life there. They get suicidal. They say there's nothing to live for. That person left me. I can't see my life without them. I don't have my language anymore, and I know what I want to say, but people think I'm dumb because I can't say it right, or I have to process slower on some days. And because of that, I think a lot of people that have this purpose knit inside of them when God creates us, He puts those threads of purpose inside of us. And if we don't walk in that purpose, we're not fulfilled.
Well,
I believe pain is where purpose is birthed from.
You know, you said the threads, and you know, I'm starting to question everything the older I get. All people are created equal. I'm not so sure about that. We may be threaded the same, but some threads are stronger than other threads, and that's how you find out the strength of your threads. Push through it. The Seth Hanchey story: how to find purpose in your pain. We're talking with Kimber Hanchey-Ogden, Seth Hanchey in the studio as well. So let's put you to work, because obviously work's coming to you. More people are finding out about you. Where can people say, you know what, I heard you on the radio, the Q94.1. Will you come and talk to our group? Will you come and talk to our church? Will you come and help us? Because we got a lot of people struggling. And I know this is going globally right now, but how do folks get in touch with you? And then talk about the door that opened to help the military, because that seems to be the forgotten warriors.
Absolutely.
You know, they went off and served, and now they're home, and it ain't the hoorah anymore.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. The way it kind of worked out with the military is, first of all, I didn't have anybody in my family that had a disability. I wasn't acquainted with disabilities. I wasn't acquainted with anybody that had any kind of an injury this severe, you know, a life-altering injury. So this was like being thrown in the middle of the ocean and going, okay, figure out how to swim and find a shore. I didn't even know what direction to go in. Well, as I started walking, and that's how the Team Seth Foundation for Traumatic Brain Injury Awareness was even birthed, is I was like, I've got to give what I needed when I was thrown in the middle of the ocean. And that's the life buoy, or, you know, here's hope. Take my hand, here's hope. In doing so, in researching, I began to find out that, gosh, you know, 611 people a day die from brain injury. Now, that's mind-blowing.
Right.
But if you don't know, you don't know.
That's right.
But the military, they're over on these foreign lands, and they can just like have a bomb explode that they're not even real close to, but the shaking will actually cause your brain to shake. It's like a whiplash in your brain, and it causes some brain damage. I began to research and find out that our military are experiencing the most brain injury, and there's no one there to say, hey, let me encourage you. Thank you for what you did. Thank you. You're a warrior. You served. You're not forgotten, and you're misunderstood by a lot of people, but we get you. And just push through it. Just keep going. There's still purpose out there. So it kind of coincided with that. I began to have people reach out to me, honestly, because I reached out just to encourage, not looking for a platform. But it's funny, again, when you walk in your purpose and you talk about your pain and you're real about what you went through, people connect to you on your weakness. They don't connect to you on your strengths. You know, hoorah that you made the mountaintop and you climbed the highest mountain and you're on Everest, and yay, you stuck your flag up there that said, hey, so-and-so is here. But I want to know, did you make it through the valley? And tell me how you walked out of there, because I'm there and I'm stuck.
Well, you're bringing up another point, too, is not only is the journey up, it's a journey back down, and the cameras aren't on then.
No.
So
no,
I would
no.
dare say, by the way, push through it, the Seth Hanchey story, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain. Get it on Amazon. You can download it as Kindle.
Yes.
But not only is this the story of Seth, because when one gets hurt, all get hurt. So obviously the
gosh,
caregiver and those and there's no uniform panacea, one size fits all to like how somebody treats the situation. You see what I mean? And
Exactly.
sometimes that'll compound the issue as well. Like, how come
Yeah.
you're acting that way or reacting that way and I don't feel that? That's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. I talk about that. There's actually a chapter in the book, I think it's chapter 9, called Caregiver by Default. And it's like you just jump in. Some people can't do it. And I always say, please don't compare, me, what I do and what I did. Please don't compare yourself and say, well, I'm a failure. I failed my loved one. I didn't do enough. It's not your job to fix them. And hold on. Technical difficulty.
We got some technical stuff. That's okay. That's all right. Actually, we have so many things going on in this studio right now. Besides terrestrial radio, we're streaming live, we're TikToking live, and the best thing to do right now: download the book, push through it, the Seth Hanchey story, How to Find Purpose in Your Pain.
Yes.
Let's tease them and leave them right here, right now, because believe it or not, we've been going for 17 minutes.
Wow.
So there's a lot of content here for people to digest. Seth, talk to us and give us some words of encouragement, and as we sign off.
Yeah, no, of course. More puffing up. Oh, good, but worse. Down, mine, oh my God, down to worse. I can't, this is keeps going, oh God. Thoughts, man.
Yes.
Oh God. So, up.
Awesome, my friend.
Yeah.
Man, this is going to be, well, thanks so much for coming by today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know you know the word, cast your bread on the waters, right? And
Yes.
we don't know where these words of bread are going to reach people and help people. So,
Pray. Yeah.
you want to pray?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Nana morikela mokaika, nana rikana morikaika, disisa morika de pohika, yeka poku, derana yeka de huka yeka na pohika, dana morika, disisi fofo yeka, disi amara yeka de urika na morike, derana yeka, morikiki po, ukukika, derana yeka dana morohi, derana yeka, nana yeka, barikeka. Amen.
I'll take a slice of that. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. And that was his language, by the way.
I know.
That's it. And so, yeah.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
TeamSethFoundation.org. If they want to reach out and have us to come speak, TeamSethFoundation.org.
TeamSethFoundation.org.
They can
Awesome.
email us there and find us really easy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank
I'm sure
you.
this little radio show changed a couple of lives this morning, and that's what
Yes.
it's all about,
Yes.
for the better. It's 8:36 on your home for real country, Q94.1. Awesome.
So I tried something new. That's what happens when somebody wants to